All right. It's about that time for another rant. I was actually farming the. Oh yeah, and by the way, I will never do another edit video like before. That is not my vibe. I don't like how fake it is. I don't like how anything it is. It doesn't portray my personality. It doesn't give any flavor to my content. It is so corny and so bad. I don't like it. Other people may like it, but I don't know. People are like, oh, this person has a bad personality. And I'm gonna tell you, 80% of people in this world have a bad personality. So Sugma. Anyway, anyway, I was farming these right here. Fenrir's Brutality. Because I want to get my celerity for my melee. So that I can get the maximum speed to move around with the polearm charge attack and nonsense. The piercing ascent, that's what it's called. And I was like, yo, actually, this grind, even though it's defense, it's not that bad. And why is it not that bad? It's because it is such a non-load bloated grind. These wedges have the same drop rate. I'm pretty sure they're three, but the last one isn't listed because I remember getting three from they're three different drops. And I think there's just one not listed here. I think it's bugged. Um but because I do not remember it just being rage trammel and brutality. I'm pretty sure there's something else here. I forgot what it is. Oh, it's the smash. There's the smash and mag ammo, which is weird because that's not listed here. Yeah, there's this one. This one is also here. I don't know. But I was thinking about it. And I'm like, yo, this grind is actually not that chill. Not that bad. It's super chill. And it's not that bad. So we have another paper, another notepad. Okay, let me space this out so I could just give you guys some room on these bullet points. I don't care about that. Just so you guys can see my different segments. I think I got a double space or something. All right. Demonwedge farming isn't that bad. In reality, it's just super bloated. So, the more I play, right? The more I actually I'm gonna move in my face. The more I play, the more I realize that the Demonwedge grind actually isn't that bad in the current way it is. It's actually just really bloated. And like it's just there are too many drops in a lot of these things so that you really when you grind something you want it to be targeted. Okay. And this grind took me like an hour, somewhere in the range of 30 minutes to 2 hours, right? If I was from zero to whatever, it would take me that range, which I don't think is that bad for a grind for a targeted thing. And then you need to get the gold blueprint, and getting the gold blueprint isn't that bad because you get a whole bunch of other blueprints along the way. And I don't even remember when I got the gold blueprints for it, but that's something for later. So it's this grind in itself was super quick. Anyway, let's go over to some of my points right here. At the end of the day, I don't care what anyone says. Spending $300 on a mobile game is bad. You shouldn't want to make endgame content horrible. And 8 hours to farm 50 of a wedge, right? This is like pertaining to these ones right here, right? 8 hours to farm 50 of these. It sucks. It's like 1 in 20, maybe 1 in 10. I'm saying 1 in 20 because if you use it 200%, you'll only get one, which is the worst feeling thing in the world. Why would anyone want to buy a Giga one? Why would anyone want to pay for that if that's what they get? Like, it doesn't make sense monetarily. Like, and you only get people with that nonsense like the first couple of times. It's literally like a quick trick. It's not a good way for consistent monetization if you want me to be honest too. Because once someone realizes, oh wait, actually if I use a gold book, I actually don't get like a whole bunch of them like I thought I would. I only get like two. I only get one, maybe two max. It's like, wait a minute. Why would I ever use a gold book then? Fuck it. Yeah. So back to this thing. So 8 hours to farm 50 of it is ling. You can say, okay, you get the Covenanters. In the current Covenanter system, I don't care. They're all cheeks. So if you're farming for certain characters, like it's like 8 hours to farm for one. But if you think about it as, oh, I'm doing this grind and then I'm getting what, like two extra Covenanters, like I'm getting morale and I'm getting volition, right? Then it's like, okay, you know what? 8 hours for 3 maxed out demon wedges. I'm not hating that. Okay? But then you need 1,000 clues for each one. And so you spend 8 hours to farm this. And then you need 1,000 clues. And in those 8 hours, right, you're not gonna get like, what is it, 3,000 clues. In those 8 hours, you're gonna get like, on average, I get like 2 per minute. So what, 120 times 8, right? You're gonna get like maybe 1,000. You'll be able to max out one, but you're not gonna be able to max out everything else, and that sucks. And it's defense, so it's 8 hours of defense in that specific mode. So that is the worst thing ever. Okay, and this comes from the fact that it's bloated, I'd say, and I'm probably gonna get into it more later in a different note, but the fact that the drops, right, for these have these, the phoenixes and the weapons. If you want to keep the phoenixes in there, I'm not too mad if you want to keep the phoenixes in there, but you shouldn't. I think for the fact that you need, so some builds want you to have 5 of the same Covenanter, you shouldn't even have all the phoenixes and the Cerberuses in the drop pool. You shouldn't. I'll say, to be honest, I don't even think the Covenanter system should be the way it is now. It fucking sucks. But that's something I'll get into later. But because you need so many copies of these already, you're gonna need like 250, and 250 you're gonna need to spend like bro, like it's so long. And for anyone that says, "Oh yeah, it's a grind, it's your endgame grind, your endgame Demonwedge grind," bro, like honestly, tell me and like tell that guy, the new guy, 10 years from now when the big titty dragon fucking Fuda raid comes out and then she fucking slaps you with her dick and you need to fucking have 800 defense, but you can only get 800 defense with the 800 defense gold demon wedge that's plus 10. Like, bro, like tell me that's gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? like I think in reality, if you want to make truly challenging content in the end game that challenges players, you need to fix the structure and just make it so that, bro, like for me to farm that one demon wedge was like an hour, all right, and it was targeted, and it was like I could do that, and then now I just need to cook them up. And the carmine is the main resource, and then I farm the carmine. The clues being the gateway for some demon wedges. I think for Covenanters it shouldn't be. For the Bahamutes and all the other ones, I'm chill with them requiring clues. You kind of need a clue sync anyway for those, but for the for the Covenanters, you should not need it. There should just be a Covenanter dungeon, and with the Covenanter dungeon, you should just be able to, because you need so many of them, and each one you need 1,000 of, and if you need 5, and then you're gonna try a different build, you're gonna need another 5, and so you can't even do build diversity in the game currently. It sucks. So yeah, and like I said, if the new player, if the end game content comes out within 3 patches, right? There are 100 ways you could change this, by the way, but this is just my idea, right? Just because I think focusing on the current system is better than trying to create a new system, because then creating a new system comes with its own new set of barriers and flaws. So yeah, just removing the bloat from the grind will literally make the grind way more accessible. And then a new player isn't gonna be like, oh my gosh, I've seen this in chat like 20 times. A new player comes in, it takes me 20 years to max out this, and this. Oh my gosh. Because you need 1K clues and then you need to do another 100 runs. It's like that 100 runs is going to take you like 30 minutes, too. Maybe even an hour. It depends on what you do, what character you use, and all of that. If you're not using a meta character, it'll take you an hour. So, or a minute. It'll take you like 2 hours, actually. It depends, because that's 100 runs. Yeah, it's so bad. And so, yeah, a new player, in order to get maxed out gold demon wedges, if they actually make viable endgame content in this game, it would take them 100 plus hours. And tell me that you would want a new player oh yeah, by the way, in the raid, I'm playing Knifle, so you can't play Knifle. You have to play Fina to support my Knifle damage. And then it's like, you know, like I don't think that's how it's gonna be, but you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, let me check your demon wedges on your profile. Oh, you don't have this? Okay, I'm not doing this because we're farming this for about an hour, and with your current setup, it's gonna take us an hour 30 minutes to farm what I want. That would normally take an hour if you actually had a decent build. So screw you, noob. You know, like stuff like that. In like grinding scenarios, it does get annoying and tedious. So especially the biggest thing is that power kind of dictates your grind. And so getting access to a juiced up character in like 20 hours versus 100 hours. And this is a mobile game, by the way. This is a mobile game, by the way. I do not care what anyone says. This game is a mobile game. In a mobile game telling you, hey, do you want to spend 100 plus hours on your phone farming exploration, standing there doing nothing on your phone? Like, bro, no one wants to do that, bro. I like to preserve my phone's battery life. I like to keep my phone at the 20 hours it can last, you know? Um, so this one's kind of long. I'm sorry. Okay. So, let's go. Fenrir's brutality felt great to farm. Yeah, I went over this. Farming maxillarity isn't as bad. Yeah, and you just need the carmine and gold. That's kind of where your time sink comes in because it actually is kind of quite a bit of carmine and gold. So you'll need to do bounties for like what, like an hour to get one maxed out. So at the end of the day, you're still needing to spend an hour to do this, 2 hours to get all the purples, and then what, like it's 10, so 5 hours of crafting. Like it's still time. It's still time you got to put in the fucking game. It's still time. It's just like, what's the point of the grind? Is so annoying and stupid, and it's just like so bloated. Like tell someone to spend 100 hours in a game to like max out a character, bro. Like that's corny. That's actually corny. Because the more I play, the more I'm like, and people are like, "Oh, the grind, bro." Like you don't need to be elitist about standing there doing nothing. I'm not gonna lie. I literally have a video that says 850 get rounds of doing this. Tell me you want to fucking play Bitcoin miner? Hey, RAM simulator, bro. Like, no, it's corny. At that point, just make it so you could run like 20 in a row. Make these commission manuals instead of that. Make it so that they just do like two. I mean, I guess they work kind of like auto completes in other games. So I mean, yeah, but I don't know. You can't use them on the other things. I don't know. Yeah, and so yeah, and the gold blueprint farm. Like I did that farm so long ago, I don't even remember. I think I was doing it for multi-shot or something, and so still have the gold clues, and I just am cooking them up now, so it's super chill. Yeah, I said this: remove the phoenixes and services and Liliths and give them their own domain. Yeah, you could probably just make the phoenixes the boss drop, and then make the services and the Liliths, which are the melee ones and the ranged ones. You could just make them their own. You could make them the bonuses, and honestly, no one would really care because it would still work the same. Who cares? It would still be about that. It would still be kind of bloated because they're like 8 of these or whatever. But at least if you're farming wings inspo, you would then be able to farm this stuff. And so it's chill, it's calm. And you would at least be able to target multiply these. And so if you multiplied these, you could also multiply these. And so the grind would actually be really fast if you wanted to get wings inspo and then max out your Cerberuses and stuff. It would actually be really chill. Instead of this grind actually being a lot more annoying than it is for some people to get wings inspo. Like for some people to get wings inspo max, they would need to max out like 2 skilled demon wedges, which is insane to me. And yeah, this is one thing I want to talk about. The more I play, the more I realize how bad the element restrictions are for the game. They restrict build diversity, and in the future, they will restrict the character design in the game. And so, this is something that I think requires quite a bit of foresight. But currently in the game, we have like these demon wedges right here. I think these two shouldn't have. We'll go over all the things I don't think should have elements because it makes no sense because they already have their own restrictions in their own thing. But it's like this, right? In my opinion, why do these have built like restrictions, right? I mean, like, yeah, honestly, why do they have restrictions? It's like, oh, well, you build this for this element. And it's like, it actually doesn't make any sense. It actually doesn't make any sense because they could just remove this, right? When enemies near when enemies near a character take weapon damage, they could just do that. And this could just be a support wedge instead of, hey, you have to run this on a Lumino support like Fina. Like, we're not trying to sell characters anymore. Like, you know, we're not trying to sell, like, can we just remove this? Because we're not trying to scam people anymore. It would kind of make it a little bit better. Because here's the thing. This is more for this wedge and like these types of wedge. But it says Hydro characters summon gain an attack speed boost equal to this. This means that if they make a Pyro character that's a summon and the summon would want attack speed, in the future, this would really just suck me. Okay. And so, yeah, right now it's kind of good because it makes people not farm stuff and be like, oh, well, this is worded improperly. But like, they should really just remove the element restrictions on these because it's like, oh, when an Umbro character consumes sanity, they gain 1 stack as a weapon crit chance by 5.5. Bro, imagine if I could so like we're currently talking about how overcritting is a problem, right? And if you could overcrit, you could actually have good things. If they actually removed the Umbro restriction on this, actually Umbro characters might be the best character in the game. No, because you have Berenica and the dude, and they suck me. But like, if you remove the restriction on this, right, when a character consumes sanity, they gain 1 stack that increases weapon crit chance. And so that means any character that has a drain effect, aka the dude outsider that drains his. Oh my gosh, bro. This could work on outsider. This could work on rhythm. This could work on Lin. This could work on. Yo, this could work on so many characters if they just remove this. So honestly, the biggest thing in it is they have so many tools. And so this one could be like the weapon damage one, right? And it applies to your character. It'll make it so weapon damage is better, right? This one is for summons. So you can make Bahamut's, right? You instead of making Bahamut's for Hydro, you make Bahamut's for summons. You make Arbiters focused on weapons, right? You make Ifrits focused on attack, right? You make this focus on skill damage. You make this one focus on resolve. You know? You make this one focus on supporting and giving your your teammates buffs. So this one's like the combat AI wedge. Right? I think that would be way better of a philosophy. And it's not that hard of a change, I'm going to be honest. Because the thing about me, personally, a lot of people that I see when they make design changes for the game are like, hey, this game should do this and this. It's like, yo, they should change this system and add this, bro. I don't think the systems in the game are bad. I just think they're poorly thought out and they're not really concise and focused on an end goal and an end design on how they want the game to be. And the more I see like a lot of these wedges and stuff and the more I play, because the thing about this game is so big and there's so many different aspects of it. And this is the reason why this game is so hard to give critique on, is because everything in this game is like, you have to experience it in order to understand it fully. And you'll slowly start to experience these things. And so everyone's like, oh, the grind isn't that bad. Oh, this isn't that bad. And then you realize, wait a minute, I did this and this was way better. I wasn't upset any time doing this. This is how it should be. And you're like, wow. Wow. Or there you get into something, you're like, this is horrible. What the heck? I was defending this system. You know, so that's something I definitely am like on. Let's go on to the next thing. Right. Like I really say the element, right? The next thing is endgame being element tied. Isn't that fun? This isn't really about demon wedges, but this is just like minus 50%. Yeah, you can want to push people to have the 300% super effective, but it's minus 50%, and it's not like Pokemon where like if you go fire into water, it's minus 50, right? No, if you go Lumino into water, it's also minus 50. It's not 100%, and that's what everyone says, and so it's like, it's super lame. It's super lame. So you'll go and you'll do like 10 million damage on a character that you're super effective with, but then you'll do like 100, you'll do like 200k with something, 500k with something that, is any other non-element. And it's like, bro, it's not even like I'm using fire into water. Or what is it? Is it electro into animo? Is that what it is? I don't know. Let's see the next one. But I understand because it's like there are two elements you can use, so it'd be kind of weird to have two different super effective things. It's a little weird, so I can see it. I can see it. But still, it's just like I don't know, man. I think it should just be 300% and then just 100%. Don't nerf people for not using certain elements. And it's not even like they're buffing Fina, so I really don't understand it. I really don't understand it. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter in the current state of Endgame because Endgame doesn't matter, but this is something they should really look into in the future. If they remove the elements from Typhons, the weekly chase wouldn't feel terrible. 1 year for what you want, then the wedges will be cooked. The main thing about Typhons is that they are aura effects and that your team can't be stacked. Yeah, so with Typhons and the current bounty system, I wouldn't mind them being weekly if, like, let's say you only had Prime Morale, Prime Resolve, Prime Hunt Down, Prime Serenity, Prime Uplift, right? Hunt Down shouldn't even have a negative effect. This effect is so weak anyway, who cares? I think this is something weird. Like, it's like skill damage minus 50 for attacking with a weapon. When I could just have this, all of these, none of these give you negative effects. Why does this give you a negative effect? It's so weird. It's so weird. And I understand this is like 32% true damage when it's fully maxed out or something, but even then it's like it's still so gross and icky and weird. It's like it's so weird. But if you were to just farm what these 5 weekly and it was a weekly gate for these because these are kind of strong aura effects because these affect your character and your team and so your combat AI. Right, that should be the limiting factor, not the fact, hey, you have this for Umbro and stuff. Like, why does this being Umbro even matter? What does Umbro have to deal with this? It's just like a random restriction for no reason. It's just bloat. It's literally just bloat for nothing. It's like, hey, I want you to do. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's not a system that should be in the game. It isn't. And if they want to keep it like this because it's easier, they just need to make this like completely unrestricted thing. Unrestrict the weekly cap on it. People farm this anyway. It's it's weird, but if they want to keep it weekly because they want to time gate stuff, they should just remove the element on it, and then it'll still take like, if you're unlucky, it'll still take you like what, like 3 months or something, but it wouldn't take you like a year if you get unlucky. Um, it's like 33 weeks if it worked like the current way that getting Covenanters works, but it doesn't. They're dropped, so they're random. So especially because it's random and it's that big of a drop pool. It's like, bro, imagine you're Electro main and you just don't get your Electro characters. That would suck. This one is my daily Covenanter bitch. Remove element from Covenanter. I already said this, and make the prior trait Blaze Nirvana Steadfast Volition. Right? I think you should just keep these the traits, and that determines where they're placed. So when you're on the Noctoyer meat manual, and you go over here, and you see this, right? When you look at the drops, the drop table, right? It would just be like, instead of this, it would just be Blaze, and then it would be whatever. Instead of Wings Volition, right? It would just be, this would just be Blaze Volition or something. These would all be Blaze, right? All Blaze related. And then this one would be like, Nirvana related. Stuff like that. I think that would be a better system. It wouldn't be perfect because then at some point you'd want to farm something and then you'd get stuck farming the HP set and that would kind of suck, but at least you would be farming something and then you'd be getting something in return. And maybe they would have the foresight to make it so that, hey, well, Sybil is Electro and she scales with defense, or Randy scales with defense. How about we put the defense up with the Electro Wedge so that you get the Electro? Like stuff like that. Like that would be cool. That would definitely be cool. Or like, hey, the supports don't really care about attack or something, so we could put the HP set on the support set because Sometimes you want HP on your supports because they're combat AI and they die anyway because they're stupid. Right? Like, stuff like that. That would be really cool. That's the big thing. This video was really unorganized and really ranty, but I hope I got my point across that it's really bloated just like this video. See you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.